Hi, thanks for joining us on Real Estate Insiders TV. I'm Danny Poulos with the elite team at Blue Chip Lending, and our guest today is Kristi Lee of Kristi Lee Interiors, and we're going to get to some information that you're probably not used to hearing about when it comes to interior design, so I'm really looking forward to it. So Kristi, take a minute, tell us who you are, what you do, how long you've been doing it.
Well, my name is Kristi with Kristi Lee Interiors, and I started my company in 2005, which was soon after I moved to Florida from my home state, Oklahoma. And when I started my company, I had the fortune of doing color out boards for a large developer who just got into condominiums. So I went from doing the color outs for the developer into doing homes for the homeowner.
And that's really, what a great lead in. That's going to take us to what we want to talk about, and that's how you help buyers visualize the space they're going to move into. So I guess before, when you were working with new developers, they were buying a unit that wasn't built out yet, and you had to show them what it would look like and how to make their choices to make it feel like a place they wanted to live.
Absolutely.
So let's get into it.
It started with just the color outs, which were the basic materials that you're given from the developer. But then you go into the home and the realtors are trying to sell it to the homeowner, and it's hard to visualize. So you have a box, it's just a concrete box. So then they call me, I go in and I say, okay, this is what it could be. We do the full build out as far as the flooring, we knock out walls, we add electrical, then we get into the actual fabrics. So I would go in and give them the visual of what it could be with lighting, their personal living, how they want to actually, live within the space. And then once they can visualize that and they feel it, then they feel comfortable with actually making the purchase.
Right, so all this happens before they make the purchase, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, I know a lot of people that think they're designers and they can look and say, oh, I'm going to do this and this and this, and they realize that, I'm not allowed to rip that wall down and I can't gut this and this. So you're really laying out the vision for them before they make the purchase.
It goes both ways. Sometimes I'm hired after the fact, but usually, as far as new construction condos are concerned, they really need that visual because there's nothing within the space. So once they feel comfortable with that, and I show them previous projects of the same thing, or bring materials in, like physically have, here is what your flooring could be, do sketches of here's what your electrical could look like, here's the view that you'll have when everything is renovated or the design is complete, then they feel comfortable with making the purchase and everyone's happy.
Right, well, if I'm a realtor, and I'm going to try to figure out who your typical client is. Right. I'm a realtor and I'm showing somebody property after property after property, and it's in the area that they want to live, and it's the size that they need for their family, and they're just not getting it because they can't feel themselves in that space. So I'm going to call in Kristi, and now we're going to look at properties that you can maybe change to fit what it would be their dream home, right?
Exactly. So not just new construction condos, but it goes into homes as well. So you can have a decorated model and a client walks in, and that can be a make or break. If things aren't set up the way that the client feels, they can't get the feeling, okay, well, I don't like that color or that kind of treatment. And so if they have someone there, like from my company, they can understand, okay, this is what it could be. And that can be done easily with a sketch, like I said, with fabrics, with any type of material, or just walking through the space so they understand. And
wait, say that again. You blew right by that with the sketch. So how, really, what are the tools to help me see what it's going to feel like to be here? Say that again. So you're going to draw out the whole space?
Well, it depends on the project and what the client is really looking for and needs, and what the realtor needs to make those changes. But yes, we go through, we can do sketches for you. So if we're in the space, I could draw it out, say this is what the space actually could be for you. We could knock out this wall, here's what it would look like. We could build this type of, built in to accommodate everything that you just told me that you want. You need lighting in this area, here's how we could do your layout as far as your furnishings and your lighting overhead, so that you get what you want to achieve. Right,
and really for the real estate agents that may be getting frustrated with the client who can't seem to fall in love with anything even though it meets their needs, you're the missing piece of that puzzle. You're turning somebody who's getting frustrated and not finding what they want into somebody that's excited about where they're going to move.
That's right. I am your missing piece. Give me a call. I will put it together for you so everyone understands.
So not missing link, just missing piece. So we also talked about not only the new construction, but gutting a place completely. If you're in, and this is what came to mind, if you're in a condo building and it's an older building and it's dated and it's gonna need updating, and you do one of your jobs
Right.
in there, I can expect what happened, but you tell people what happens when people see the work on one unit.
Well, when you're in condos, it's typical that when you're doing renovation work that other people that live within the condo will see it and then will want to redo their homes, and then it also increases your resale value and everything. from
Well, yeah,
there.
you get, I respect you live in a place, say you're there for 10 years, and you get used to the way it is, and that's just the way it is. Your imagination doesn't bother thinking of how else it could look, and then all of a sudden you hear the hammers and noise next door, and it's like a whole new unit, I would expect, with a whole new feel, and must be a domino effect in older buildings, one client after another wanting something done when they see it doesn't have to be the way it's been for,
Right.
10 or 15 years, right?
That's exactly what it is, because the condos that are, were built in the 60s and 70s in the area, they didn't really take in the consideration of the view, which is the most important thing. So we go into the older condos, you have a closet that's right in front of you, you just knock out that whole wall, put in a nice piece of custom furniture, rearrange it, it changes everything. Same with kitchens.
So if you live in a condo building and you see a Christy Lee truck outside, you might want to find out what unit she's working in, and you can see what your place could look like. I don't want to run out of time before we talk about the trends for 2015. Everybody wants to know what's new, what's hot, how do I make my place look updated? So what's going on right now?
Well, if you ever have questions, just follow design or fashion. Anything as far as design is always followed by fashion, but the hottest color coming up in 2015 is blue, Greek blue, like a very bold blue. So that mixed with pink is going to be very popular, or soft grays. That's going to be your major color as far as getting out of the neutrals and what you typically see in Florida, which always works, bringing in the ocean colors. So that
As
would be
usual,
colors.
Greek is in style.
Yeah, you like that, don't you? Greek blue.
How about surfaces?
As far as surfaces, the most luxurious surface for 2015 would be white marble. So I just started using that quite a bit, and I'm seeing it come out quite often.
I would have to clean my countertops if I put that in. It doesn't hide anything. You actually have to wipe stuff up.
Well, it depends on your application too. So white marble on your kitchen countertops is definitely something to think about. So I would probably not go towards that. But even as far as styles, mixing a more contemporary with a more vintage and antique look is really nice, and you can do so by mixing materials such as carved woods, which would be, or savaged stones and
Right.
glass, things like that, and then pulling in gilded metals with velvets, and just being able to blend the two together is definitely going to be 2015.
So, well, I have that vision of places that are getting gutted and everything all new, but do you also go into someone's home and make those small changes? Maybe it's just redesigning a kitchen or a bathroom, or is that something people could also call you for?
Yes, so when I started my company, it was specifically new construction condos, the build out. So flooring, walls, built-ins, electrical, like specific designs. And then we also, after that, I design a lot of custom furniture. So actually specifically doing the furniture, fabrics, window treatments. Like you said, the fluff, so the decorating, so we do all of that, yes.
So when you, so I know you design built-ins, you said furniture, someone, again, you're just drawing it and saying this is what it's gonna look like. It's not that they can touch and feel, except they're just showing in the fabrics and the colors and that
Right.
kind of thing. So, I mean, who asked for a piece of custom furniture?
It actually, I find that is one of my clients' favorite items, the fact that we're gonna have our custom
I
furniture.
would
and
think,
it's
that's why I'm
only
asking,
ours,
who
and-
does that? Who says, I
They
don't
all
want
want that.
anything in any store, I want Christy to design me a particular piece of furniture and it's gonna be original and no one else will have it.
Yes, we do that all the time. So we design full homes full of furniture, the dining chairs and tables and sofas and case goods and.
So if you
big
want
seats.
something that nobody can get anyplace, one of a kind, and maybe Christy will sign it someplace on the bottom, then you'll have custom furniture to go with everything else custom in your house.
You got it.
So how about people selling their house? I guess, well, you're going in maybe on a listing that they're having a problem selling. That's another time a realtor might call you in and say, how can we make things different here to make it more sellable? I guess what people would think of as staging, But that's also the other side of the business, not just visualizing what you're gonna buy, but making what you're gonna sell look more appealing. You also do that.
Absolutely. So just knowing the color palettes that someone would want to go into and it would appeal to the masses, and how to lay out the furniture so the space looks bigger. And also height. A lot of people don't think about height. So window treatments and pulling everything up, and knowing how to do that properly will make the space look bigger as far as, and also furniture layout and everything else. So definitely staging is important.
So almost anyone can use you for something.
That's right. Absolutely.
Well, tell everybody how they can reach you, if they are either buying, selling, gutting, need advice, anything to make the place where they live better.
Well, you can contact me via email at kristi@kristilee.com, or my website is kristilee.com, KRISTILEI. My phone number is 561-628-4442. But I think if you go to my website, you can just find anything you need from there.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for coming in today. That was a lot of fun and some great advice.